Hey there, we're back. This is Will again on Friday. Joined me today is Tyler.
How's it going?
And we're going to play some poker today. Just have a specific event today. We're going to look at the 4 billion chip event that's out there and who can win the most sit and goes. We're going to try to win, 40, 50 sit and goes in this hour?
It sounds like a reasonable task.
We'll see if we can lose one in 15 minutes. That's much more likely, right?
No, let's win. I want to win.
All right, so first things first, last week, if you were here, you saw that we just got shelled over and over again. We're going to grab our free chips today because everybody likes free chips. Come on, lucky bonus. And pow, 54,000. That will buy 12% of our buy-in. All right. So here we go. This is the event. It's a sit and go duel this time. There are various events that run over time. This one is currently running. As you can see, there are prizes for finishing in each tournament, but also as well as accumulating wins. You can win the Lucky Horseshoe Trophy with 3 wins. Then the 4 billion chips and also lesser chips will go to the players who finish in the top 3. And we can even look at the leaderboard here and see there are a lot of people closely behind the top 3 players who
this
are
looks pretty competitive right now.
Looking to win those billions of chips. Who wouldn't want that? I'm sitting here obviously with 0. So it's time to get started.
Yeah.
Let's buy it. All right. Let's see. I have a silly trophy. Let's put something more intimidating up, like boots to run away. All right.
You want to intimidate? Maybe use like a sword or something? I don't know. You can always threaten us.
All right. Yeah, we'll try that next time. We'll run an experiment here. So there's an 800,000 chip buy-in. Sit and go. Tyler likes the immediate 10-8 suited.
Well,
we are in the big blind, right?
Yeah. And the all-in. This may not be the hand for us.
So they're playing the interesting strategy of trying to go all in and double up right away, or lose and get started on a new tournament right away. So in an event, it's one way to go. Looks like he's probably going to win 30 chips here, and he does. All right. So we'll see if he does that again. That'll be a big tell of whether he has any cards or not.
Well, this is a hand, I'm not really that concerned with.
Our 10-8 was a little more exciting than 9-7. Huh?
Man, he's all in again.
And there's the call.
He got 1, got 2.
I bet they both have better hands.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Oh, a queen 3. Jack ace and ace queen suited. Oh man, look at that.
Somebody brought an ace to the party and they take all the chips. All right. And they're both off to play new sit and go so they can climb up that event leaderboard.
That's one way to go about it.
I'm detecting a hint of sarcasm in your voice.
What? No. Well, you've got an 11% chance of winning?
Well, yeah, or in that case, Queen 3. How far is Queen 3 behind Ace Queen and King Jack?
You are the numbers guy. I'm not
I think
sure.
11% is a pretty good ballpark because the Ace Queen has him crushed, right? He has to catch a 3 to beat any of that, and he has to fade Ace, King, and Jack, which would also beat. So, barring some kind of really lucky flop, he was in deep trouble.
Yeah.
But it will happen. Welcome to poker.
That was the perfect time to call that all in. Ace queen suited. It's like, okay, I'll play.
Give me the chips. Yep, exactly. So that's kind of allude to a really good strategy. So you do have a maniac at the table that's just betting everything. That's the easiest opponent you can have in poker.
You can catch him when
you just wait and you catch him when you have a really good hand. And if you lose that really good hand, you just
that was
swallow
probably
hard
going to happen at some point.
Right.
Anyway,
you can't win 80% 100% of the time. I think you can win at like 75, 80%.
Right? Every time.
All right, we finally get to play a hand here. It's not the prettiest hand, but since everybody else is coming in weak, we have position.
Exactly. So you've got the option for a straight or a flush draw or something like that, right?
And we strongly prefer to raise pre-flop. That's a good strategy. You'd much rather, but after 7 other people have called, we would be raising with a pretty bad hand, and we would. So this is what you call a nice speculative hand, right?
You could always feign strength as well.
That's fair. If we thought we could get everybody to fold or almost all of them to fold, then take it away on the flop. We flop a pair. Let's see what happens here.
Pair.
Being reckless with those 20 chips, down to 930.
Hey, you only have 1,000. That's one thing about this is, the numbers. You're 10, 20 blinds, 1,000 buy-in. It's not like a cash table. Much lower. They're much more valuable, right?
Yeah. So
Are you feeling good about this? I think that's a quick way to end your tournament life if you're in
yep,
a hurry.
and we're gonna play.
Oh, so this is interesting. Normally, an ace with a low card I wouldn't go for, but is it worth it? Since you've got kind of like straight material and.
Hey, let's live dangerously today.
And wait, no, we gotta win. Remember, we're gonna win.
No, that's
it.
right. We're gonna win. Living dangerously, we're gonna win.
Oh,
All in. This is a really terrible time to call because you're gonna 50, 60, 70% of the time they're gonna turn over ace bigger card,
Yep.
and you're gonna be in deep trouble. So we'll fold there.
I feel like I'm really actually, despite being aggressive, cautious to call anyone's all in a tournament game. It's almost until it's like heads up last hand where there's the less chance of risk.
Yes,
50,
that's right.
50.
And but you can actually even put math to that. Doubling up early in a tournament doesn't give you 2x value because there are only tournament chips and there's a lot of time to go.
Sure.
So yes, it can give you a little leverage to play aggressively.
It's good to have something to work with.
Of course it is, but if you're a 50-50 coin flip early in a tournament is a terrible idea because you're not going to get return value on your money. So it's always better to, like you say, wait later in the tournament. That's when you're looking to shove any pocket pair, any two big cards. So.
Oh, really? I think the late game in some of these tournaments is where I am not sure how to act anymore because the chip stacks are all wildly different. Sometimes maybe we start with 1K, I'll have 2K, and then you're up against like a 6K chip stack. And then all of a sudden, your options are much more limited.
That's right. Yeah. And that's what makes tournament so fascinating. Even in a cash game table, everybody's got their stacks, but it's basically like everybody has infinite money with the sum of it on the table at a time.
Yes.
As opposed to working with a scarce supply here of you have exactly this many.
890 is all we've got. Right
game
now.
Over.
And you've got some people who can afford to bet 850.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 of them, so I think they're probably going to chip in here. And another strong hand, ace queen.
That was very strong.
Another player out with queen 5, and we're down.
He got trapped. He thought the queen was all they had, but
yeah, as
even more than that.
well, they dragged it well, droged.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Okay, all right. We get a free look with 5-3 here, and looks like we got to make some more inane chatter while we wait for anything interesting to happen in the tournament.
It's tough. Sometimes you just don't end up with some good cards.
Yeah.
If you try and force those hands, you can, but if somebody actually has some good hands and they call you on it, it's
nothing you can do.
Fun.
Right. Got to play for the long run here. So we'd still like to finish in the top 3 here. We won't get a progress towards our trophy. So obviously aiming for first
top
a little more than
we
usual.
Need?
But top 3 will get paid. Top 3 will get 800K back
I
or
like money.
Yeah. I love money. We should hang out. Jack 4. 110 to our left probably means they're going to go all in, and we don't want to mess around. We don't want to put in 150 certainly. And even if they check, then they flop anything, they're going to go all in. They're pot committed on a short stack. So that's a good time to avoid getting into trouble with a crappy hand like ours here.
Sure, yeah. Always pay attention even to low chip stacks. Make sure you know what they can get in for.
Right. Pair of 4s. So. Pair of 3s. Oh boy. All right. Really going to ratchet it up now. 30-60.
If they keep checking, do we want to try and bluff something? Like a 180? Or is that that's that too risky?
Yeah, you'd almost certainly get calls for 180. We can't really push too hard. We would have to basically go all in. They all fold, really.
Right, that's not even enough. Like a 20% of the starting chip stack is still not enough to put pressure on these guys.
Well, not when they have 3,000. And then the 220 over here is pretty. Most players would be pretty happy to go all in that situation. Like, sure, let's
You're
gamble.
looking for one last hand.
Right.
Either you double up or.
Right. Exactly. So, and then we would have definitely had to show that we were bluffing, and then that would blow our table image. At least right now we have good table image. That's all we can say at the moment.
We haven't shown any cards yet, actually, right?
Right.
So,
and we've folded almost every hand.
Yeah. Does that mean they're going to expect, if, say you have a player like that at the table, they folded everything, and then they suddenly get very aggressive. It's almost guaranteed
quality
they have
hand.
Something.
Yep. Here we folded the nuts again, but
Could we?
Who knew?
So that
You
gets
couldn't
into
get
the
there.
strategy, right?
Right.
We could actually just, after folding, wow, going all the way to the river.
Check to the river. Yeah, exactly. You make a very good point. We should make a strong move with a medium to crappy hand
Yeah. See how they
to
feel about
so
it.
that everybody can fold to our finally we got aces or ace king or whatever.
Yeah,
So they'll
sure.
all fold now.
Yeah.
And then next
we're
time
acting. Oh, okay. So we still have to worry about these ladies here.
all right. 4-on-1. Let's see what we can do here.
Ooh.
I'm pretending to think here.
Oh man.
And there's
That
no
is
chance
just-
that Jack 8 is good there. Not the way they have played and showed cards. We did raise once, though. We got a little action. Now we're at 650, down to 11 bets.
It's okay. I needed some good cards, and we'll take it. No
All
problem.
right. Definitely aiming for that low participation barrier of third place. Get any money back out of this and try again on the next tournament.
Let's see. Well, if we wanted to just squeak into third place, we got to wait for this blue crab thing to make a mistake. And
Yeah.
then
And then there's one more with 1,000
the
still.
310 chip stack, that's most likely, yeah, and then the 1,000.
1,000 still, and they're playing pretty tight. They look like they're also coming into this. So yeah, this could turn into a grind. I know we could go all in at some point here and try to double up, but we could also try to grind into third if that opportunity comes up. Let's kind of play it by ear here.
Oh, man. Grinder. That's not a term I knew until I watched Rounders last night.
Hey, Rounders, fantastic movie.
Yes, it taught me everything I know.
Sorry.
Oh, okay, so the ladies
All right.
won with a pair of fives, and that paid off.
Yeah.
Massively. Wow. Beat
Full
the three of
house
a
on the
kind, too.
turn. Yeah.
That's a bad beat, but look, so just like we were talking about, crab person is gone now.
Yep. Well done.
One less.
Start.
Just all we did was fold.
Preach. Speak the future, man. Who's out next? The hat here, jumping in with there. We definitely have to get in for cheap with 10-7 here. We got a 10. I mean, it's like the highest card of our entire tournament.
Oh my goodness.
All right, and we flopped quads,
goodness.
so it's time to bet.
You tricked me into it.
All right. This is like you were talking about, though, with multiple people with, big chip stacks, 3,000 to them, they can throw an 80. But for us, 80 is like a big chunk of our.
Yeah.
So it allows for different play with them and with us.
We in those situations, do you want to just play like you have the same chip stack as them? Just
No, you can't. You can't because they're
otherwise you're in for one hand and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you continue to whittle away at your chip stack, and we really need to double up here if we're going to get back in this tournament at all. All right.
Is this something we can work with?
It is.
Kind of, maybe,
The chip leader.
throw caution into the wind. Almost.
All right, let's do it.
That's
Let's
not
see if we-
exactly what I meant by it.
Trying to get everybody to fold
I
here.
guess, yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be a scary
And
enough
they're
amount.
playing the big chip stack like we talked about, so they have been playing every
Oh.
hand, and so they're probably.
Oh my goodness.
We're okay. We got outs. Put that king on the river, and we're one more full house for the ladies.
Oh, GG.
All right, I'm gonna go round up 3 more people, and then we're gonna play
Yeah, you got to pool
more
all the
even keel.
resources, exactly.
All right, yeah, great. All right,
Wow.
5th place, and
Wow.
as my friend likes to say, that 4th loser.
4th loser.
All
That
right.
is very apt.
All right, we're gonna play again. I'm gonna let Tyler run
Yes.
this
all
here
right.
today. We're also gonna put his sword trophy up so that everybody knows we mean business this
It's-
time
yeah,
and
it's
stop
scary.
taking us so lightly.
Yeah, what's happened? It's a jambalaya. You might get stabbed or something.
See how many people.
Oh, so what's going on in Twitch chat here? Wish there was an unfold button. What do we mean by that? Okay, everybody's too.
Oh, see here, Tyler jumping in aggressive right away. I love it.
Let's see what happens.
All right, let's talk
There's-
about the unfold button. You get to you throw your cards away, and now it's like, hey, can I have my cards back? I just flopped 3 of a kind.
Yeah,
or,
tell me. Oh man, there's been
Oh,
too
look
many
at
times.
Tyler.
Wow,
Amazing.
Look at this. But so what I'm
How
gonna
you-
do here is maybe not the best strategy, but it's how I've tried to play. I'm not being too aggressive. Oh, we're getting them to fold anyway.
We flopped a
just
monster.
60.
I mean, top
Yeah.
2 pair is amazing.
Should I just okay? So how much do you think I can raise to
I'd say
keep
half-
that
half
person
the pot.
in? Half the pot. That. Ooh,
Well,
nope,
or
not yet.
20.
Not
20 is also a
Not
safe
yet.
bet. That's all right. All right, one more on the river. I still think Jack 5 is good because
Yeah.
I would guess somebody with a better hand than Jack 5 would be raising.
Feeling a little bit
So we're trying
good
to.
about this.
That's what we call taking
Ooh.
the.
Yeah? Yeah?
Your call.
Yeah.
You think they made the. Yes! All right,
yeah.
good call.
Got you.
They were
Got you.
chasing us with
Oh.
with troubled cards. They had a 6-5. We had a Jack 5.
Nice.
Doubled up.
And an ace 10 now. Okay.
Playing
so,
the Jack 5 to perfection there.
Let's see. We showed our cards.
Right.
They weren't amazing.
Right.
Do you think they'll
I-
let me get away with this type of raise
I love
again?
another raise here. That's a great raise. It's a
Actually-
it's a value raise.
Yeah. Now
We're on
I'm
the
wondering. I never thought about it, before actually I started watching the stream. But really, you got to think about the other player's perception of you. What are you doing, and why are you doing that? Do we want
Cool.
that?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Bring it.
Really.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what he's got.
He limped and then he reshoved. He
that
just
is a.
he saw us. He saw us shove a Jack 5 and put us on the same garbage again.
Did we actually? Oh, 2-6 offsuit. Oh my God.
Beer and crab cakes time. What is this again?
All in. All in.
Oh, he turned over ace 10 last time.
All in.
All right. Do you
Have
think they're
to.
gonna buy us a beer when we win? Probably not.
No, I'm not
All right.
part of that. I'm not part of that deal. But
Okay.
I have to respect it. I just have to respect it.
The 2-6. Is there any? Oh no.
There we go. We got one. Got
two.
two.
Oh.
Nothing good is going to come of this, but I had to do it.
All right.
It's
Giving
okay.
some of your chips back, giving them more of a chance to have a
Actually,
one person.
and took a guy down with that. See, so I would not play this no matter how little. What
Is
do I
it-
have? Do I have enough money that I can really just call that and kind of see some cards? They're letting me see some cards right now for 20. Is that's kind of.
I'm not going to teach you strategy. You've been seeing me
No, I'm
play for
just,
2 weeks now. You play your style, and I'm going to learn from your style. These people will learn from your style as well, and we can talk about how to.
See, that's the one thing I'm worried about.
Right.
When I'm betting. What position was I in here? I wasn't going so the big blind hadn't bet yet. Ooh, I like that hand. So
Yeah.
I would definitely.
2 suited wheelhouse cards is a solid hand. So again, I've noticed you tend to make value raises where
So
you
what's-
don't
what's
expect
a value raise?
Value means you're expecting people to call. You're building a bigger pot. You're creating more value in a hand where you have.
Is that dangerous then? Because
With good cards, it's a great idea.
do you think I should call this guy? Ooh, I kind of want to.
All right.
I know this isn't.
We've raised
that
every
strong.
hand. We have the image of a maniac here, so
Yeah,
there's no
I
reason.
am a maniac.
All right.
He's got
Ace
an ace.
2.
Uh-oh.
and
Oh, there
Jack.
it is.
Nope.
All right.
Ace
All
2
right.
versus King 10 suited.
All right.
That's almost a coin flip. All right, and we're back to 1,000.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
And now we get a good hand, and Tyler folds.
What?
I'm still trying to pick up on the strategy you're playing here. That's
Okay,
good.
so a pair of threes is a good hand?
Pocket pair, it's really tough to play after the flop. We're in really terrible
Exactly.
position.
Exactly.
But if you could limp for 40 and flop a set, maybe. But yeah, no, fold is fine. I'm
Well,
giving you a
I'm
hard time.
Man, you're making me question everything now.
Zynga poker, question everything.
Oh, see? And then
Yeah.
an ace jack and another jack comes out on the table and wow.
But we saw the winner of the
Strong
previous
hands.
tournament, at least the chip leader of the last tournament, had those 5s versus ace king. Caught a 5 on the turn, made a full house.
Yeah,
so
that's, oh god, there's
there's-
just so much danger here
Yep.
for a pair of threes.
And
that
we're playing the board
But
if
you
we
see
were
how
in.
everybody's just checking? They have. Ooh,
they
kings.
both had these.
They were scared though. Those aces, two
Yeah.
aces. in
Action
fact.
killer.
Ooh.
All right. More good cards.
Okay, so now we're in a position where I can see what's this guy's name? Udi. I can see him make a move first because he seems pretty aggressive, right?
He does. Level 155, showing off he already has a trophy, meaning he's already won 3
Yeah.
of these at least.
Yeah. Well,
Who
these
knows?
guys have all checked. I
All
don't
right.
like that.
Again,
I don't think
with
they
the
have
aggression.
anything.
Tyler
They don't like what they have. You
teaching everybody how to play
No.
pre-flop raise
know?
today.
Immensely aggressive, but I'm not actually that aggressive. We've called too many all-ins.
Yes.
There's a budget.
Rule of thumb, you want to be going all in, not calling all in, because
Those face cards.
Yeah.
I did get the king that one time that I did.
and then that queen, but you didn't even know how to flop anything. So
Oh,
I mean,
man.
come on, stand. So unless you're
Which
pretty
yeah.
confident in that ability, yeah, it's much better to be the aggressor going all in and get everybody else to make the wrong choice.
Oh
So,
man, these guys actually, I'm noticing aside from a couple who, want to double or nothing right at the beginning,
yeah,
this is some good tournament play
this is
right now.
fierce
Actually,
competition.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
having an easy time of it. That's for sure.
With all those face cards too. I don't know.
All those face cards.
Yeah.
I did get the king that one time that I did.
And then that queen, but you didn't even know how to flop anything. So
Oh
I mean,
man,
come on.
yeah.
All right.
What was I doing? Wow, the board is just lethal right now.
Yeah, again and again.
Both.
Yeah, some people will play 4 or 5. Some people play any 2 cards on the button, especially for a min bet. Some
Yeah,
people will
definitely.
raise. So how well do you play in position versus with high cards?
Yeah, definitely. What's the advantage of being the dealer? You play last.
Right. It allows you to. Everything gets better. It's just everything's nicer when you're last.
Okay.
If you have a good hand and they have a good hand, it allows you to extract more value or play it safe. How well do you play in position versus with high cards?
Yeah, definitely. What's the advantage of being the dealer? You play last.
Right. It allows you to. Everything gets better. It's just everything's nicer when you're last.
Okay.
If you have a good hand and they have a good hand, it allows you to extract more value or play it safe if you're not sure if you're ahead. So you're going to win more and you're going to lose less if you're in position with any given scenario of your hand versus another person's hand.
Okay.
So
Oh, nobody
yeah.
likes their cards.
Oh,
This
we'd
time.
love a 90 chip boost here. Oh,
No, I
ooh.
see. I like this better.
Yeah, this is slow play time. Call it. Just call that.
Oh,
Just
but I
no,
want the
don't
money.
let him bet the turn. All right. I'm not going to give you advice, but I'm totally going to
Oh,
give
I'm
you advice
so
right
tempted.
here. He
I'm
must
so
think he has a
tempted.
good hand now.
Okay, so he could have up to one ace.
Right. All right.
See, he's checking.
Time to
feel
bet.
like
Yeah, there
how
you
much,
go.
How much will he call?
I would have bet 210 there. But,
210?
All right. Yeah.
Should I bring it up more now?
Yeah, there you go.
180, is that
Yeah.
enough?
Let's see if you can figure out that we have an ace here. All right.
Okay,
Pay this off.
that was the price of admission.
Could
Come
have gotten
on.
another 410 into the pot there, maybe doubled up a little more, but
Yeah,
A7 was
we
plenty
took
good
it.
there.
We took it.
All
No
right.
problem.
Time to keep
Okay,
going.
so I like this king, but the 2 is just so low that it
Yep.
doesn't.
Bad position.
Yeah, just
60
doesn't feel
chips
right
is
for me.
still quite a bit of our stack, so we're really looking to keep going here.
So MVP is saying he folded pocket threes, and guess what came out after that? Of course, every time I fold, a low pair or something, just magic happens. And I'm
Right.
kicking
Well,
myself.
I've got a great game here. You have a 12% chance of winning the game. Did you win? Did you win? Did you win? I mean, that's an impossible game to win in the long
True,
run. You
true.
just have to look for the right spots and the right kind of odds. If flopping a set is 8-1, that's where I'm getting these, or 7-1, excuse me, 1 out of 8 chance. And
Okay.
so you're looking for scenarios where you can get.
Oh, there's the threes
We
again.
can't possibly fold
Play
that.
'em?
We're looking for scenarios. This is superstitious, but
Yeah.
not a bad play. You're looking for places where you can get better than that kind of a payout.
Sure.
So you want to be able to make 10, 20x your initial investment if you're going to be paying for such a long shot here.
Okay, so
I think
everyone checked.
Yeah, bet it. We have one guy behind us, but
Oh yes, he. Okay, he's conservative.
yep, we've
Seems
been
like.
showing. We showed aces and made everybody pay down. The only
Should
thing
I-
of concern is the 300 over there.
Oof. Should I bet again?
No.
Oh,
We got 2 callers. Tyler throwing 60 chips away as
Yes.
part of the secret strategy.
it's ooh.
You were trying to river a 3 there by betting, I guess.
No,
Are we gonna-
no. All right,
Okay.
all right. I'm done being crazy.
You're gonna
I'll
remember
just
last
be
time they
normal.
both had kings and they split the pot
That
when you
is
thought they
true.
had
Oh,
nothing.
you're right
Ace
about
queen,
that.
super conservative
Yeah,
player there.
yeah. I wasn't considering
Yep, that's all right.
what they'd end
Here we
up
go
doing.
again. 10-7.
So
It's one
I
of those
like
hands you
that.
kind of like.
Yeah, it's like obviously it's not that strong, but I think
All right.
that was a bit of an aggressive bet. I know.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I lost 240 as a result.
People might be catching on to your strategy here and
Yeah,
kind of
maybe
waiting
right.
for you to bait. And
Okay, so with that said, should I do the same thing now and maybe they'll
Yes,
think
I
that
like
I'm
the
not-
idea of.
Oh, actually, I'll just
Yeah, I
just
think
call this.
time to call here. So you can't ever tell until it gets to your turn what kind of situation you're facing.
Yeah.
I agree that if we'd ended up with the heads up with the blinds, we would have had a
That's
decent
looking pretty good.
chance to outthink them.
Wait, there we go.
Gonna bet the 2-1 underdog here, huh? Do you like that? So you got a 1 in 3 chance of making a club here, but you also have a chance of everybody folding. So there's that.
Ah, man.
What's
I
that?
wanted some more. I wanted some more people to bite on that one.
Everybody folded. We took it down, so I like the bet. Kind of a semi-bluff.
I feel like
We make a club, we're probably good.
I was hoping for more value, if you know what I mean.
But you had no hand. You had ace high yet, so you can't get too picky about how things are going with that. But
Yeah. No, I do. Only had that 9, which wasn't too great, but
so walking around the table here, let's look at the people who are remaining in the tournament here. The guy on our left with 980 has a trophy.
occasionally we'll all in as well. He's
And
very
he
aggressive.
actually even did the limp following. Then we raised, and he went all in back over the top. So he was waiting. So he even tried to trick us. He's definitely an advanced player trying to lay a trap in that case.
Sure. Do you think he even had anything when he went?
I think
and,
he was hoping that we
counter-raised?
would raise. He limped, hoping that we would raise so that he could go all in over the top. And then we've shown
then
the
just
ability.
take the,
We've called some terrible all-in calls already. So he was hoping that we would do that.
Oh,
so you
thanks.
might do that with a hand like aces or even ace king at this point. All right.
6s. See, this is like low enough that it tricks me into thinking I should.
It's a
play
good.
This.
You should raise this hand.
Raise?
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
crap.
that's all right. You should call this hand. That's what I meant to say. Raise, you get rid of the guy behind you. Okay, we lucked out. He folded anyways. But you would get to be a dealer, effectively dealer, if you get the one guy behind you to fold. So now what? Now this is a coin flip if he has overcards.
It doesn't feel good to me, but you
Okay.
think I should?
I don't think you should. No, either. If he has sevens or higher, then we're a 4-1 underdog, and we're doomed. Otherwise, we're only 50-50, and we don't really want a 50-50 chance of winning this tournament. We could find spots where we're 60-40, 70-30, and get our money in with better odds. That's the whole point here. Maybe he was doing just that, or she. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture. Maybe it's 2-1 there.
Yeah.
So they're a very aggressive, knowledgeable player. They know how to apply pressure. They know how to put big bets in. They took arbitration that he's played himself down into no chips. And even if he were to win this hand, 560, he's not back in the middle.
Yes.
A very strong player, but has been playing tighter, more conservative
Yes,
poker,
definitely.
showing good cards. And then the two on the right have been ultra conservative,
Yeah,
folding
man,
everything. And even when they make a really good hand based on the board out there, they check it down, just check and call, those kinds of things. So keeping our personalities in mind for this final 5 here versus us. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. They are sleepers, but this guy, whoever this guy is on his way out. Could be his final hand.
Yeah. So conservative that he's played himself down into no chips. And even if he were to win this hand, 560, he's not back in it yet. He's still on life support. So it's why it's such an important thing to play short stack well and get your money in, even if you know you're behind, even if the guy shows you he's going all in with ace king and you turn over 9-4. At some point, it's a good idea to go all in with 9-4 because you will win sometimes, and if you just keep folding, you'll never win.
Yeah.
So.
Can't make any money.
Hey, look at
if you
this
don't
three-way
play.
action here.
There it is.
There's a flush versus a flush draw.
Wow.
All right, down to 5. One big chip leader. Again, our strong but conservative player had the big hand. The other guy was on a draw.
What do you think? So if we can just
Wow, folded for
stay.
10. He's definitely trying to grind into third place, as we were talking about.
folded
Just wait
for
everybody.
10.
Yes,
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. He's
Nobody's
well,
gonna-
he's dealer next round, so he's still gonna
He's
be.
got
in
a
for
couple
more
hands, but yep.
Yeah.
We have 4 outs here, and we don't feel like spending 350 on that.
Yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit pricey.
All right, Adam trying to squeak into third place. Give it up.
Honestly,
let it go.
when I play heads up, I will throw away most of the hands that I like. Is that? Do you think that's fair? I mean, it's like obvious. I
They
guess.
all have garbage too, so I like a call
I wanna
here.
Play this. A call?
Yeah. Raise, we don't have a strong enough hand to raise. We're going to get people to call, and then we're going to put in a significant number of chips here. Now we're in last place, and I'm glad we didn't raise because now we can get away for only 100.
Yeah.
Because that guy has a really strong hand. What do we think? Queens?
He's also very rich right now.
Yeah, but you don't stay rich by playing
this
badly
is-
with rich. Aces.
Aces. Wow. And
5 on the flop. Boom. King Jack also beats his aces for big tidy up, but does not beat 3 5s and is out. But yeah. So I didn't even give him
that
enough
was
credit.
rough.
Down to 4
rough.
in 4th place. Gonna squeak it into third here. We're gonna find a way to get all the way to first. What do you
Queen
think?
7.
We got to start.
7.
It's queen high, which is kind of good at this point.
Should I raise?
No, because you're out of position, because we don't have that good a hand, and because he's a strong player. So I think you just check folded here.
He checked as well. So.
See, with 4 people left and 3 places paid, the last thing we want to do is get 4th place here, right? So we don't want to whittle ourselves down to nothing, but we don't want to make silly plays and make it easy for them.
At some point, I kind of want to just bluff it.
I would try going.
How much?
All in or call. You're up to you. And you're going to do the third option, 400.
I'll probably end up all in anyway.
So remember how they check and call with ace queen. You have to get them to fold pre-flop or we're probably behind.
Okay, so
they might have king queen. We'll find out here. And everybody folded, so it was enough.
They didn't like it.
All right.
I feel like that's a good hand, but I'm going to be in for too much.
Fold. Yeah. Yes. It's 1-6. We have 6 bets, and to put 1 bet in with 9 high. This is a speculative hand. Suited connectors are the kinds of hands that you can make a lot of straights or flushes.
Oh. Poker, why do you do this?
Because
why you do this to me, poker?
This is far from over.
My heart.
If he has an ace of hearts, you could lose yet. You know, but you're right. 118 to 1. Yeah. All right. What are we going to do here?
I'm not feeling it.
Okay. It's fine.
Which is unfortunate because we got to make something happen, right?
But at the same time, you got to tighten up. If you're on the bubble and you're in one of the last spots and you're trying to make the money, there's 800K for third and 0 for fourth. It's worth it to play a little tighter.
Yeah, you're right. You know, all I'm thinking about is just winning.
Right.
Just winning.
So you're going
you
after.
don't have to win necessarily, not to get this trophy.
Ooh. Ace high.
You still get paid as long as you keep your head.
Right, exactly. Now she's down to 1 bet left.
I'm definitely not feeling that. But if they let me
I'm
play it,
I'm gonna uncheck that because what if she went in for 320? We would only have to call 120, and we don't want to give it away at that point.
All right. So
yeah, get in there and call. Hopefully we can team up
that.
here. Teaming up in poker is, not legal if you're sharing information or if you're playing against people different ways. But this is a kind of case where people do team up. Everybody, the other 3 of us, check it. No, yeah. We'll talk about the rule of thumb here, but still check because
slowly building.
We'd all like to have one person beat them, and then we're all in the money. Then we can go on and play.
I see what you mean.
But also, go ahead and fold. There's no way we're ahead.
Yeah.
King 10. Good. The rule of thumb is don't bluff at an empty side pot. And they were in for the main pot, and the rest of us were all betting on the side, but it was empty. And bluffing at an empty side pot, you can't bluff out the all-in person.
So I do. I want to be strong.
All in here. We only have five bets, and we're in the money. We don't have to be careful anymore.
This is destiny right now.
What is Tyler's destiny? All right. All right.
Collect antes. So, that's my destiny.
Yep. We have to play. Now we're turning it around, and we're going to start playing really aggressive. As the short stack, check. It's free.
Yeah.
Let's not. You can't. Really aggressive is not the same as going all in every hand. So I would bet here if he checks. Nope. Okay. Fine. He has value. We don't. We got to fold. We don't have enough to get him off of it.
Sure. It's only 200.
Yep. It's all in time again. You can't. We don't want to see a flop. We don't want to let him find out. His high card value. Ace high. Strong hand. All right.
Again?
Fire it up. Yep. All in again.
All right. They're going to get tired of my answer.
Well, good, because then they'll call us with less than an ace. Oh. Well.
Ace 4. And he makes a pair.
And no help on the river. Second loser, but we got paid.
Hey.
All right, so
we got our payout.
Still waiting for our first tournament trophy here. These two are going to finish it out. Both solid players. Hopefully we don't run into them next time around.
That's some tough competition.
All right. Information. Talking here's the tournament event we're playing in here. It's an 800,000 chip buy-in, and obviously we are no threat to anybody out there. So good luck, everybody else.
Yeah.
So let's pause for a bit and take a viewer email right now. You can email us in at twitchpoker@zynga.com and ask questions. We'll answer them on the air every week. Today's email is from Bruce, one of our longtime viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been watching for years, I think. And Bruce asks, why do I have to fold all the time?
Because you can't win. Is that the correct answer? I'm also curious about
Excuse me, Bruce's follow-up. That's boring. All
Yeah.
right. So it's a very good question.
Yeah.
Poker is just a fascinating game because sitting at a table with 9 other people, you're always trying. You don't have any control and hold'em over how the hand progresses. You can get people to fold by betting, but mostly you have to kind of put that aside. You have to play the situations that come up, right?
Yeah.
And winning poker really does come down to, at least on the amateur levels, as you're getting started playing this game, in playing against amateurs especially, starting hand selection is the biggest criteria you can use to
Starting hand selection.
improve your results, to improve how you perform in these games. Starting hand selection is picking the best hands and folding all of the rest of them. So,
All the rest.
so
Okay.
you're looking to play, I don't know, at a 9-person table, 15% of the hands, 15 to 20, maybe a little over that. But you're going to find everybody else playing 30, 40, 50, 90% of the hands,
Wow.
and they're thinking about what kind of cards they have versus what kind of cards you have. When you get involved, you're going to be the favorite most of the time. When you're folding, you can't lose anything, and that's why it really is about folding. I'd say in a standard amateur poker game, the person who folds the most, the most selectively, is by far the best chance of having the best results at the table. Just fold a little more than the other guy. You're In theory, you could run into a table of where everybody's really tight players, like a couple of them we saw in that tournament,
Yeah.
in which case folding, you okay, fine, then you turn around and be aggressive. But you almost never run into that crowd. Almost everybody plays too many hands because, as Bruce points out, folding is really boring.
Yeah. You want to see some action. You want to
Exactly.
play. You want to make some money.
Amateurs as well, used to playing other games. You've played other games. You go home, you play Halo. You play bridge, whatever you kind of game you like to play. You're used to being involved at all times. You might take
Oh.
turns,
Yeah.
but in this game, it's up to you how often you get involved. And a lot of people just want to get involved, have some fun with it, think that maybe that's how it's supposed to play. Why am I not playing for a while? But the best players can sit and fold for an hour or two without having any issue with.
I think I found a good analogy for this actually. So you mentioned Halo,
Oh boy.
but what if poker is more like Counter Strike, right?
All
You
right.
got it's one and done. It's round based.
Okay.
You can get knocked out quite quickly if you make a single mistake.
Interesting.
So maybe it is
Quite a tournament parallel
yeah,
there.
you want to be a little more cautious.
So one more thing I would talk about for hand selection too is thinking about, let's say our appropriate hand selection is all pocket pairs and two cards that are ace and queen higher. So we play ace king, king queen, and ace queen.
Those are my
Now
favorites.
that's a really tight selection, but for this
Sure.
example, let's just follow it through. If you are playing against someone, let's imagine they have the same hand selection, but then they add some more hands like ace jack, queen 10, those kinds of things. Basically, you're going to be going to war with the same kinds of strengths of hands, except occasionally they're going to bring a really decent hand to the battle, right? You have ace queen, they have queen 10, and now you're a big favorite. And the most costly hand in poker is the second best hand, because those are the ones you have to
Yeah.
call. You have to see the river.
Yes.
Somebody bets. You might even raise because you have a good hand. So you don't want to be the guy playing all the second best hands, and those are exactly the kinds of hands that you will add into your range. So if you
Okay,
are
so
going
you
to play
start
loosen
playing
up, you
those.
might want to play that same range I mentioned, and then throw in 8-9 suited, ace-5 suited, different varying kinds of things that give you a little unpredictability and randomness. But you don't want to just play more and more of the hands, because the further you go down, ace-10 is one of my favorite examples of just a really, really bad hand.
Oh man, that's terrible. I like ace 10. I would play it. And
Out of
then I'd
position
probably,
at stuff, and you run into
know,
ace-jack, ace-queen, and pocket jacks. There are all sorts of hands that will give ace 10 a lot of trouble, and if you're out of position, it just gets compounded. So it's
Okay.
another great question by Bruce, man. He really knows what he's talking about here.
So in the end, it is worth it to fold, is what you're saying.
It is worth it to fold, and it is worth it to fold as much or more than other people, because we that is one of the key ways to win. Until you run into somebody that can actually exploit that and be so aggressive that you're folding too much, which again will happen. There are people out there like that. And when you get to heads up, you were talking about not playing many good hands. That's the point at which you have to start playing. The less people that are in the hand, the more likely it is that everybody else has bad cards too, and therefore you have to open up your range as it gets shorter.
Okay.
So here 8-9 suited out of position early in the tournament.
Do not want.
And no read on the table. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So. All right.
Oh, we don't have anybody trying to double up
Yeah,
right
that's
away.
that's right. Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder
This
how
is,
often that's happening.
It's very expensive. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the one time where 8-9 might have
It's
been good.
nothing. Yeah.
Poker, why you do this?
This is where you want to have 10,000 chips and 240 out there. This is a good kind of hand where you can, make a hand and build a pot, and you need a bunch of people to call. But the last thing we would want to do here is call 960 because we're on a draw and probably behind.
Vinod.
Level 188.
He's putting his life on the
Dominating.
line here, but he noticed. Wow. Okay. Well, that was
Both were better than ours.
interesting.
10-9 had the same draw as us, but a better pair. So we were in deep trouble there. We were either looking for a split pot or to make trips off of our 8.
A pair of
Meanwhile,
queens,
the
man.
queens as an overpair is an even stronger hand than that. So didn't keep. So definitely something to keep in mind because A, they have 2,000 chips now and they're going to be around a while probably, and
Yeah.
B, they had, with pocket queens all they did was
That's
limp,
good to know.
and then all they did was call the raise. I would have re-raised certainly after somebody min raised to 40 and it came back around to
Oh,
me.
with
That's
that-
a perfect
with the-
time to re-raise to 300 with queens, get rid of some of the trickier kinds of hands to deal with. But instead she chose to play really safe.
Yeah, and it ended up, catching somebody else out as a
Yep.
result.
But she could also end up looking at someone who caught a straight there
Yeah,
on those connected flops like that, and again out of position, and then also all in. Yeah, how do you know somebody's going to go all in? Yeah, it's a very tricky, risky play and a very hard. It's why queens and especially jacks are one of the hardest hands to play in this game because they're really good except when they're not.
I hate it when that happens.
Yes, and most people will tell you the same thing. We have
Good
king
until
5
it's not
here.
good.
All right, so we need a 4 to make a real hand. King will make a medium hand, but we're out of position and we have 5 opponents, so we're not going to try to bluff anything just yet. I'm strongly considering playing a little more like you that last tournament because you did
Oh, yeah?
show some good aggression. You were making some good raises. I might raise a little differently as far as amount,
Sure.
but yeah, we had it working, and to quietly wait for cards is what most people are doing, and we might be able to get into that space and make some profit on that.
I think that, this is definitely not a cheap buy-in for a lot of people. So maybe they are really trying to, they're trying to win also, but it might be scaring them a little bit.
Quality of play, but yes, you're right. Motivation of these players, if they're worried, if they're trying to also, please let me at least get third kind of thing, that's the time to take advantage of that.
Bully some people.
Bully some people around, push them around because
Hey,
in the right situation, yes, absolutely play on their fear. We have a nice donkey gift given out there. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess he limped king 8. I guess that's a punishable offense at this table.
oh man.
He's limping again,
Hey, you're
and
lucky that's not a 2 right now. You might have to.
I don't. Whatever that garbage is, 6-2.
Hey, it might not always go badly.
All right. Any idea the origin of that? I think I asked Zach last week. Where does
No.
why 2-6? 2-7's the hammer. Everybody knows 2-7, but 2-6.
I don't know 2-7, but
No.
2-6 I think was specifically when something came up when we were playing.
Oh, so it's you had to
Dash
be
Game.
there, and
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
local.
It became a thing after
It's yeah. All right, cool.
that. Somebody probably all in on like a 6-2 and may not have gotten it.
Ace
Not
8
sure the
with
story
2
behind
limps.
it. You don't like that?
I'm just gonna let it go.
40?
I don't like the limp because I want to raise pre-flop. I want a hand like a high card hand like Ace 8. I want to have 1 or 2 opponents. I don't want to have 5 opponents. I didn't feel like it was strong enough that I wanted to raise and go up against the strongest of my 4 opponents. So I just let it go this time.
So here's a question. How do you feel about bluffing? What if you just have nothing? And get
Okay.
get pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
If somebody calls you, obviously you're in trouble. Do you
Right.
fold it before you see the showdown?
Limp here. No, don't worry about showing the capacity to bluff is usually it's certainly not worth giving any chips away to try to save your table image. I mean, Go ahead and turn over, like, look, I was playing with absolute nothing. That makes you scary. That makes it tricky. Like, next time when the flop comes 3-3-9 and you bet again, are you lying again or do you have a 3? Because you could have garbage. So it's definitely nothing to worry about showing a bluff. If you show, it's more about understanding your table image and acting accordingly. If you've bluffed 3 times, stop bluffing because no one will believe you. But on the same token, if you showed good cards, good cards, good cards, then everyone will assume you have good cards. So act according to what everybody thinks your table image is. You can't really craft one yourself unless you have a long time at like a cash table.
So that could also potentially be expensive. You need to kind of have the bankroll to bluff and lose.
That's right.
And then still, be viable.
Nobody wants to bluff and lose.
Oh, it happens.
So we had a check raise, or maybe it wasn't a check raise, but we had a raise there with Jack 3. He had top pair on the river. And a very slow play by Tammy again, who had Queen Jack on a Jack 10-9. And here she's even folding for 20. She was getting 7-1 odds on her pre-flop bet, and she just folded her. So Tammy is going to turn over solid cards and not looking to make bluffs, not looking to bet big for value either. So tight player.
Yeah, we learned a lot about her one hand?
Yeah, exactly.
Just very few hands, 2 hands actually.
We have several limpers. The 540 here whose turn it is. The 2 on the right are both limpers who like to see a lot of flops, but that means they're going to have all sorts of different hands. So they're a little trickier to put on a hand, but more likely to have a bad hand.
So with that said, we've got Tammy who will probably fold unless she has a strong hand.
That's right.
And these 3 who will check anything that's
right. Call. And then the 2 next to us are both playing really tight as well. They're sitting on their original 1,000.
So what does that mean for us? Do you get aggressive with this type of group, or are you just going to be collecting blinds at that point?
We're looking to target specific people in certain situations. So the people who are, if these people limp every hand, then it might be time to, at some point, wait for them to limp really fast and then try to raise them and make them fold. Like, hey, oh, by the way, I'm all in. So, you're limping garbage again. Hopefully you make them lay it down regardless of what we have. But when we have aggressive people behind us and Tammy behind us who will call with good cards, that's kind of a tricky play too. So we're looking for the right combination of position, opponent, and hopefully any cards. But you were talking about playing without the cards. What if we just anything we wanted here? How are we going to handle trying to make a move?
Yeah.
And it's tricky. You really can't plan to make a move. I mean, you can, but it's much better to let it happen organically. The right time to make a move will come up, and it's very much a finesse kind of thing.
Exactly. As Bruce has.
All right, so we flop middle pair with a 2. I'm letting that guy. Oh, all right. So we definitely have the best hand now. So that's all right. Let's bet like we have an ace. Make it scary here. He didn't have an ace or a 10, or he would have bet, right? He was very aggressive with Jack and no kicker. So
you're right about that.
He would have bet an ace. He would have bet a 10 and checked around again. We got a call there. She's been playing super tight. We haven't seen anything. We have aces and 10s with a queen. Our 2 doesn't play. Let's see if we're good here. Don't bet medium on the river. And she had... Yeah.
Hoping for a high card, I guess.
Or a jack, I guess. But yeah, you're right. She called hoping for a draw. It was probably just called because we bet so little. Or it looked like we were trying to steal or something like that. All right, so we've got a limp under. We have a strong hand. Let's talk about this hand as it goes. A limp under the gun from, again, somebody who's been playing a lot of hands. Maybe a limp over there as well. Yep. So now we're just going to push it all in with a really strong hand here because everybody folding would be fine. We're in a terrible position. If we have to see a flop and guess afterwards, we have to guess what garbage they limped in on. Garbage being ace-king. He makes a strong play, and we...
That was your luck.
Ace-king, ace-jack, so we were a 70-30 underdog there and got lucky.
I like it.
First time in weeks. All right, time to go.
The poker gods have smiled upon us today.
Not yet. We're not there yet, Tyler. We have 19-10. All right.
I like that hand.
Call or raise, call or raise. We're going to call. And that mostly looking at the big blind at 460 there. We don't want to encourage him to go all in pre-flop because we only have a queen high. very conservative to our left. Couple of limpers there. It's time to take this down. This is
Nothing's-
why being last, having position is good. Being on the dealer button, when everybody checks, we can be the one.
Yeah.
And nobody has any idea. We could be betting a king, we could be betting
Yeah.
three of a kind, or we could have nothing.
I like that. Oh, you're lucky that's suited.
Oh, that's part of the rules.
Yeah, no, suited means nothing. It's only offsuit.
You'll have to turn in Monday through Thursday to find the 6-2 exhibition show because I'm going to fold that pretty much every time.
I'll play it. I'll play it. Why not?
Well, yeah, we saw, and yeah.
It didn't go well that time, but I
You
feel
got two
like
calls all in, right? Exactly.
I feel like there can be some just so maybe look at it like, if you never bluff
Right.
and then this one time it's kind of a forced bluff. It's like, all right, you got to bluff that.
Yeah, but
And,
again, you're ignoring the context of the situation, the opponents, the
True,
chip stacks,
true.
all of that. You're just so Tammy playing really slow with second pair and a queen there.
Yeah,
So
you wouldn't want to go
all right.
too aggressive.
All right, this is a good time to go aggressive. We want to get rid of the. Oh boy. All right.
Interesting.
I changed my mind. Context of the situation. I don't feel like we would get a lot of folds out of them, and we still have people behind us, including Tammy, the chip leader, to act, who can take us out of the tournament.
Okay.
And nines, nope, an immediate bet, two immediate calls. We're on a long shot draw here. If we catch a 9, it's probably good. But someone's got at least a 10, probably an ace. I would guess. I would put the first guy on an ace.
That would have gotten expensive really quickly.
Yep, 2 calls right
The
there.
escalation
Good
is
job.
real. What is happening? With the 4-3.
We've had a flush draw only. Second person had a straight. Second best possible hand there, and we got away with just minimal damage. That's again the key.
That got
Pick up-
volatile really quickly. The motorcycle guy, he wasn't. He was just calling most of the time. It
Yeah.
seemed like.
Yep.
all
And then
of a sudden
waited.
He's had enough, and it's like
Exactly. Patience wore thin. Poker is very much a game of patience. Like we were talking about with Bruce, folding. If you can fold more than other people, it seems like an easy thing to do, but it's actually, it is a war of patience sometimes, and you can, if you can just, especially heads up. When we get down to this final 2 in this tournament, it's going to be pretty high blinds, but in a longer tournament, if you're just playing against one other person, it very much is a game of who can figure out exactly which hands to fold and when to strike and when to parry. So
makes sense.
all right, so for once we're not on the outside looking in. We're actually third place in chips with 5 people left and 2 almost gone. So
Right.
again, we don't want to do anything silly. Certainly not against Tammy here, unless we hit a monster.
Yeah, I
Players-
wonder about that.
yeah.
So, but she'll just end up folding if we did something too aggressive when she's
Right,
feeling
exactly.
it, right?
So with Tammy, she's playing so conservatively and so hard on the card value. I'm counting on her to be more conservative at the end of the tournament.
Yeah,
We will
that is
start raising a
dangerous.
lot. We will be more aggressive. We will know when to fold, and she won't know when we're bluffing and when we're not, and we'll try to leverage that. So hopefully we can find ourselves heads up with her.
the blinds really work for you when somebody plays really conservative.
That's
as well.
right,
I mean,
exactly.
You end up collecting a lot of chips from them.
Limp on the button, limp in the small blind. We have an ace high.
We
That's
don't
we'll take a free
have
card
anything.
here, free look.
Oh my goodness.
No
That's
reason to
Tammy's
bluff yet.
out. So what is this guy? Moon Hyun.
Cool.
What's he been playing lately?
Well, he doubled up. He did a lot of limping, and then his big score recently was that 8-9 when he made a straight on the turn.
Oof, okay.
So
That's not something-
likes to play a lot of speculative drawing hands and
Yeah.
is willing to pay a little bit of money to win each of them. I'm hoping ace high is good here, but
Yeah,
there's
people
no
are
way to
really-
know. Nope.
Well, do you think he's just buying it at this point?
Nope.
It's not very much to. Yeah, it's. barely
We're going to talk a little bit about calling stations. He's a calling station. He's not going to bluff. He's only going to bet when he has stuff, and he's certainly not looking to buy the pot. So that was a good time. All right, there he is calling again. We're really out of position. Still Tammy to act, so we can't get too frisky with this. Now,
Ooh,
pair and a flush
I like
draw is a
this.
monster. We can't count on either of them to try to bluff at it, so we have to lead
Yeah.
out. Otherwise,
He's-
they're going to check and they might catch up.
Yeah.
All right, so he could have 8-9. He could have many different things. We have to bet to find out. If he has a 7, He might raise, he might call. We still have outs, plenty of outs with the flush and everything else.
He's
All right.
gonna play it. Interesting.
So we still have a medium hand. The river hasn't folded
I
yet.
don't. Yeah. Dude,
I don't know. We could try to maybe squeak a few more chips out, but they're more important to us than they are to him at this point. Does he have 4-6? What do you think? Oh,
wow. All right.
All right.
That time he was playing
Yeah. So,
with a pretty strong
boy, he's
hand.
really setting us up for our segment coming up in just a bit about calling stations. In fact, we should get going now. We've only 5 minutes left. So, our player profile today is calling stations. And what's a calling station? Well, they do two things. One, they call when they should raise, and two, they call when they should fold. Calling when they should fold, they lose more hands than they should.
Yeah.
Calling when they should raise, like with pocket queens, mean they lose value. We could have had maybe extracted more chips, could have even gotten us all in. So this is it's very amateurs are new to the game are definitely always like, hey, how much do I have to pay to see another card?
Yeah.
But they're not thinking about maximizing value, being aggressive, bluffing, these kinds of things. So this is a calling station. Wally is a good name for Wally. Collie Wally is a good way to think of it. So, as with all the other player profiles, let's talk about their motivation as a person, as a player coming to the game. How are they approaching the game of poker? And in the case of a calling station, it's someone who's playing it safe. They're being really passive. They don't want to make any mistakes. They're hoping that if they play the game right according to the rules, that everything will just work out and they will find themselves winning when they get their good cards. But we all get good cards. You have to somehow find a way to win with more than just your good cards. You have to push that edge a little bit, and that's where they lose value. That's where they are beatable, is they won't. And you know how they're acting when they act. When they bet, they have something. When they don't, they don't.
Exactly.
So,
I like this.
yeah?
Twitch has just quoted Rounders, which I need to learn all the quotes of now.
Oh, man. It is not a kind quote either. If after an hour,
that's the best one.
if after an hour you haven't spotted the sucker at the table, you are the
You
sucker.
are the
You are the fish. You are the sucker. All right, so one last comment on calling stations
Yeah.
as we're winding down our hour here on Friday. How should you play against a calling station? Two things. One, never bluff. Never try to bluff them. In the long run, you will never show a profit trying to bluff them because they'll call when they beat you and fold when they don't. And that's not, I mean, so they will call a lot more often too. They will call with a lot less crappier hands. It's like you're trying to represent, hey, I have kings, and get them to fold, but they're like, well, I have a pair of sevens, so I think that's a pair. So you can't try to convince them you have anything. They're just going to call according to their value.
So you're saying the amount doesn't matter?
Right, exactly. Just bluffing a calling station is a fool's errand, and it's just trouble. Second of all, is something we saw him do too. When they bet, that's value. They only bet value, right? They're only going to put chips out there when they really have something. And they very much like to check and call. They're very passive. So mostly they wait for other people to bet, and if it's their turn, they'll check too. They just let's see what happens. Let's wait till they make a hand. They want to make a straight, a flush, full house, whatever, and then they'll bet. So here's a bet again. So he's got a really strong hand here as well.
Okay.
So
think he had a pair at the beginning, or he made something on the flop?
Well, let's find out. But I don't think he's betting a draw. I don't think he's betting 8-9. He probably has a 7, pocket pair. Ooh, we'll never find out because King Queen makes the river. All right, trying to climb into third place here. Just a couple minutes left.
Who's this? Kelly is a bit low.
Yep, she went all in with her last 400 and nobody called, which got her back to 7, but she's definitely in the most danger here. And with the blinds coming around hitting her first, we're not going to do anything fancy. We got to really stick to, now we could.
Stay the course.
Stay the course, exactly. And even one of the other two players could go out before us. Ace Queen, well, obviously we're not going to go anywhere with this.
I like it.
On some level, we want to play careful, but Limpy over there, he plays everything. So hopefully fold, and we're in no danger. And if he doesn't fold, then we have a really good hand. So that you can't run away from everything. At some point, you have to take a stand with your best hands, and that was certainly one of them. Now Kelly's down to less than a one big blind, and let's see if we can